And then I also do want to clarify, because I do appreciate our counselors, and what I don't appreciate is those very same people that are spreading misinformation and lies themselves when they twist and they take things out of context. When I was talking about children committing suicide and going home, if you listen to the podcast, I was talking about how the state is saying, and these very counselors that have said this are opposing parental notification for the kids that they're stating have the highest rate of suicide. So to me, when you're not letting the parents know that, you're also putting that kid willingly and knowingly, whether you like it or not, in a dangerous space without letting their parents know. You go on record, you claim that these kids have a high rate of suicide. I'm in agreement with you. They need their parents, they need help, and if their parents don't want to help, we need to get them the help that they deserve and need. I agree with that 100%, but to take a bit out of a video and try to manipulate it is just what has been happening for the last 4 years. The last year and a half that I've been a board member as well, it's been even more aggressively that way, and I think it saddens me that we have people in our very own district that know the intent and they've heard the whole entire video, yet they still continue to push lies and manipulate the public because they don't think that the public is going to go look at an entire video to find out the context. That to me is heartbreaking, because you have people over in the unions, both unions, you have our very own teachers and teachers around California opposing parents to be notified on something that is a sensitive issue, and I don't think that any district or any government official has any right over that child more than their parents. Their parents have a constitutional right. And what saddens me is they know by talking to these kids that these kids are or could be suicidal, yet they don't want to tell the parents when it comes to them wanting to change their sex. That is bizarre to me. And to sit there and just point out 2 seconds of a video without the context of it and trying to manipulate the public when they knew what was going on in that video because they search for anything I say to manipulate like how they do, that to me saddens me that we have people in our own community that do that. But it's okay, because I think, you know, we've shown that regardless of the manipulation and the lies, you know, we as parents, I was like many of you at that podium a year and a half ago. I was here, I made it my full-time job to be involved, that I didn't get paid, but the point was, even our Attorney General, Merrick Garland, he labeled parents as domestic terrorists for wanting a voice at the table when they were pushing sexual curriculum. So to me, it is just part of the agenda. I think we're becoming experts at being able to battle the lies and the misinformation, and I'm proud of our community for doing that. That award shows everything and more. I know some people look at it as not a big deal, but that's people outside the district that even voted for that. That's outside voices that say Chino is the best, and that's what I hear when I go all over trying to fight for our kids in California. Look, you can't just focus on one district because the state is manipulating all the districts, and unless you attack the giant up at top, we're not going to get anywhere. We're not going to have the Leah Fellows, the Grace Parks, the Sandra Chens, the Dr. Enfields, the the teachers Amandas, the counselors, all of you guys here, you know, spending your time here, you know, being involved, our great security. If we don't clear the noise from Sacramento and the political cartel, and I'll say that over and over, our district does an amazing job. They do a beautiful job, and my job is to make sure they can do their job. That is, I take that very seriously. Obviously, we don't get paid. We get a severance or whatever it's called, a stipend. If you guys want to know, I think by the taxes taken out, I'm very clear with the public. I get $700 and something a month. When I go to get on news to give us a voice, I don't get paid. No one pays for me. I don't have a booking agent, nothing. I do it because I give our community a voice so we can have normal day-to-day people that will be able to understand what's being said instead of feeding the lies that are coming from these other people in the cartel of Sacramento. So I just want to clear the record for that. It saddens me, but I think what is the most beautiful part is we're not deterred by the opposition and their lies. We won't be. We're not going to stop. We know what our district is capable of. We know what California is capable of, no matter what they try to tie our hands up. Next week, I'm going on Wednesday, away from my children, away from my family, without getting paid, to go testify in front of the state assembly members and in the education committee on AB 1955. That is a bill that was brought upon because districts like ours stood up and say, no, parents do have a right to be notified, and you don't get to pick and choose, government, what they get to be notified on. The parents have a constitutional right, and it does not matter what situation it involves. Parents have a right. No parent that I've ever spoken to, except maybe I've heard some stories that parents say, oh, I don't care, do whatever you want. That is true, that happens. And that's when they give their rights away to, you know, be able to have government take over at that point. But no parent that I've come in contact ever says, you know what, I'm dropping my kids off at school today. Do with what you want with them. I don't care. Don't tell me what happens. They misbehave, they do great things. I don't want to know. That is bizarre, that's weird. And for our government to pick and choose where they want to notify a parent, I will stand in between that, because that is harming kids. That is absolutely harming kids. Our district does an amazing job at bringing families together in hard situations. I've seen it over and over. Look, 12 notifications, I think it was, that went out within the short period of time of the injunction. You had some parents that say they knew, some parents that said that they didn't really care, and then you had some parents that were glad that our district offered free counseling and services to them. That to me is beautiful. That shows that you are offering the parent the chance. They have the right. Remember, the Constitution says that. And for me to have to go next Wednesday to go testify when I know the vote is going to probably pass and our governor is going to sign away parents' constitutional rights, and I know this is going to hit probably Supreme Court because we will not give up the fight, but that sickens me to my stomach to know that we are taking that stance as a state. And look, most of us can run free or do whatever we want or plan our next vacation. Most of us that are fighting the good fight have not been able to do that, and I think that is a testament to we are going to stand strong. We're going to allow the beautiful Leah Fellows, the Grace Parks, the Sandra Chens, our beautiful teachers, our amazing principals, our great teachers, our great staff, our, you know, Mr. Statura, you sit on that side, so I often miss you. It's not on purpose, I promise. But you know what I'm saying is we need to have a voice. And we're going to continue to have a voice as long as you have a board majority that stands up. And look, Chino made them upset. They are bringing a law after, and I'll say this over and over, they're bringing a bill forward to make it law to not notify the parents. But remember, we were sued on an illegal policy. Guys, don't forget that. It's common sense. When you think about that, that is bizarre. Look, little old Chino, a couple other districts stood in the gap and said no. They pissed off the giant. We're going to take down the giant because we all know how that story goes, and we're going to give parents a right. We're going to allow our good staff to do what they want to do, what they can do, and what they have poured their hearts into doing, which is give kids a great education free from any ideologies. I don't want ideologies brought into the classroom. I want our kids to learn reading, writing, math, and how to have critical thinking skills. That's what I was taught in school. That's what should be taught now. Our district does an amazing job at doing that because despite the noise, our test scores are raising while other districts are failing. And I think that is a beautiful testament on why we stand strong as a community, and we will continue to stand strong. And I will be in front of any of you if someone tries to harm you for doing that. You had my promise from the beginning. You have my promise to the end. And with that, I adjourn this regular